Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video of our NASCAR Heat 5 career mode here on the channel. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we have the bridge episode between Season 1 and Season 2, the off-season video, where we will go over all the roster changes as well as the new calendar and all new paint schemes as well. You're going to see a bit of these roster changes right here as we're looking through the standings, but some pretty big changes with some big teams as well, but at the same time not too big. But as well, we of course see the departure of Kevin Harvick, who of course calls it a Cup Series career, moves on into the Fox booth where we will hear him throughout the preseason clash as well as other races throughout the Fox portion of the season that they have coming up. As well, we have the debut of the Next Gen 2.0, where all teams are able to come out to Charlotte and test it and listen to this car when it gets on track. 5 gears finally in the Next Gen mod. Let's listen to this thing. All new sounds, 5 gears, new handling model with this car, a lot more grip. It's a completely different car than we drove last season, so obviously NASCAR is not bringing a new next-gen car in real life, but with the mod for the port from 2022 that we were on to now 2023, it is a brand new car, an exciting time for the Cup Series now, as I was already testing the limits here, getting into the outside wall. You already see our primary scheme for the season. We have Petro Canada, which is very exciting to have on board, but we're going to have so many more paint schemes. You're not going to see all paint schemes today. You're basically going to see all primary Daytona 500 paint schemes today for every driver. But we got out on track here at the Charlotte Road Course version now, rumored to be losing its date on the calendar, but I'd be willing to bet it stays now that it seems like Canada is not going to be, unfortunately, on it, which hurts my soul a lot, of course, as I was hoping to go to the Montreal race, but it doesn't look like we're getting it. But overall, pretty happy with how this car was driving. A lot more grip in the road course configuration with the Next Gen 2.0, so I'm already feeling quite confident. Go up to 5th gear all the way down into 2nd as we enter the bus stop chicane, and then of course go right back up through 2nd into 3rd into 4th, then of course into that 5th and final gear leading down into this final chicane. And I love driving this car now on the road courses. It is so good. I think it's going to be a night and day difference, and I'm excited to see the racing this season. Now we're going to look at a more in-depth look of all paint schemes and roster changes. Shane Van Gisbergen, of course, joining the lineup here in the Cup Series. He is not full-time. You see his paint scheme, though. He will be full-time in Trucks and Xfinity and running about half the schedule in that 91 car for the Cup Series here in Season 2. Bubba Wallace got a few paint schemes there, but nothing really changes from 2022 for him. He's, of course, looking to improve. AJ Allmendinger moves up from the Xfinity Series full-time to join us in that Action Industries. He's got a whole bunch of different paint schemes that you're going to see. There's the car, of course, that we, of course, are driving in that Petro Canada machine. I really dig this paint scheme. And, of course, in the description below, you can see all the painters, so a big shout out to them. Eric Almirola moves over to Wood Brothers Racing. He brings Smithfield with him. Lation made an awesome paint scheme. You're going to see so many paint schemes for not only Almirola, but every driver. I feel like at this point now that the guys in the Discord were able to whip up, and I can't wait for you guys to see them on track throughout the season. I didn't want to spoil them all in one go because we'd be here for like half an hour with how many they made. Christopher Bell, of course, regular season champ last season, came up short of a championship. Josh Berry replacing the retiring Kevin Harvick. There's one of his primary schemes for the 500, the Tire Pros machine. He's got a good 3-4 paint schemes as well, at least I should say, to go through in this season. But he is one of only 2 rookies on the Rookie of the Year fight against Carson Hocevar with the new Andretti Global team, and we'll be taking a look at the Andretti cars, of course, today. Ryan Blaney, nothing changes for him. A multi-win season last time out, but just really struggled to get anything going in the playoffs. Was really quiet, never really saw much of him, and Penske in general really struggled last season, aside from, of course, Blaney and Cindric both picking up wins, but Logano going winless. Alex Bowman winless last season. This is a season where he has to step up. That's his only option. He has to step it up and win at least 1 or 2 races this season if he's going to keep his ride in that number 48. Chase Briscoe Briscoe. Stewart-Haas Racing had a miserable season. Harvick, of course, picking up multiple wins last season, but every other driver really struggled, and Briscoe, of course, being one of those, but he still retains his ride with this 14 car. Chris Buescher and RFK specifically are coming into this season with a lot of upgrades, so pay attention to that RFK team. Harrison Burton, of course, moves to Stewart-Haas Racing, a team that's been continuing to fall down the order in the R&D over the past few years. Will that continue into this season? We'll have to wait and see. Kyle Busch as well stays with that number 8 for Richard Childress Racing. They expect to have a good season, maybe multiple wins. William Byron, no difference there in the number 24. Strong season 1 for him. Ross Chastain continues on for Trackhouse Racing. What can he do this season after nearly making it into the Final Four, coming up a bit short after a 2-win season there, and they both came in the first 10 races of the season, by the way. Austin Cindric there, and that Discount Tire Ford Mustang number 2. He got the win at the road course earlier in season 1. There's Austin Dillon, a new primary sponsor for him. Zara's Transport, I don't know if I pronounced that right, but a really sick paint scheme. Lantion actually whipped that one up. Chase Elliott, you're going to see some new schemes for him. One I will hint at, a Coca-Cola paint scheme as well on track for Chase Elliott, but I know there's a Hooters one on the way as well that you will see. Ty Gibbs, the rookie stripes come off. We, of course, battled against him for Rookie of the Year in season 1, which we came out on top of that battle, but now myself and Gibbs are in pretty even cars. It's going to be interesting to see who can get the first win between us. Noah Gragson is back for a part-time schedule with the 62 team in that Wendy's machine, so he has been reinstated from NASCAR. Justin Haley, of course, leaves Colleague Racing, goes to Rick Ware Racing in the 51. This is a long-term project for Haley and Rick Ware to try and get better in NASCAR. And you can see Denny Hamlin, the FedEx car. Look at this. Sanok changed the white base, put it to the black base, similar to the old FedEx cars Hamlin would run, of course, with that black base way back in the day. Daniel Hemrick, our other new full-time teammate there in the Poppy Bank 31 machine. Another one Sanok whipped up, looking absolutely sleek. Excited to have Hemrick and Allmendinger as my teammates. A lot of different schemes for this 15 car, but Riley Herbst in the 15 for the Daytona 500, trying to go back-to-back Daytona 500 wins, by the way. Austin Hill also in the Daytona 500 in that number 33 car for Richard Childress Racing. There's our first Andretti machine. It's the Cup Series rookie. I just noticed there's no rookie stripes on the car. Carson Hocevar in that number 26 3M machine, looking like that Chase Elliott car way back in the day in his rookie season. And then, of course, Legacy Motor Club moving to Toyota, the only team changing manufacturers. Eric Jones and John Hunter Nemechek, and DMoney whipped up a Snapple machine there in that 43. Looks absolutely awesome. Brad Keselowski continues on in that 6th, and then you got Corey LaJoy in the Gamebridge 27 machine for that Andretti Global team. Love this paint scheme as well. I can't wait to see what LaJoy and Hocevar can do in the first season for this Andretti Global team. I expect big things from them. Kyle Larson, he's not going to run all season in the HendrickCars.com machine. He's got some new primary sponsors on the way. A 1-win season at Homestead Miami for Larson, a disappointing one overall as he looks to rebound in season 2. Logano winless, of course, last season. Never really went well for him here, as we're going to move on to John Hunter Nemechek. Now Eric Jones' new teammate. Look at this Mobile 1 Daytona 500 and Clash at Bristol Dirt machine right here. Love this paint scheme as well, and excited to see what John Hunter can do as a Cup Series, not rookie, actually. This is going to be his second full-time season, I think. Now Ryan Preece sticks around in the 41. I finally got rid of one of the monster cars. We got a Money Lion machine for Tyler Reddick. I think Koop sent me that one, and I was able to get that in. Zane Smith in the 36 part-time this season for Front Row. Ricky Stenhouse stays in the 47. Here's probably my favorite scheme so far. Daniel Suarez, UPS. Lation made this one. I absolutely love it. And then, of course, we have the defending now Cup Series champion, Martin Truex Jr. We'll dive more into his season that he pulled off into the Clash episode, but what a drive in the playoffs it was for him, defying all odds. Here's the calendar. So similar to roster changes and whatnot, not huge changes, little subtle changes here. So of course we kick off the season with Daytona. Auto Club is not going away like real life. Auto Club will stay on the calendar. Las Vegas, Phoenix remain. The first 4 races are all the same, but then we bring back Chicagoland. Yes, Chicagoland is back in race number 5. We go to Mid-Ohio again. Race number 6, Richmond, Bristol, not on the dirt, because Bristol dirt will be the Clash, and it's going to be chaos and probably a lot of crashing, which is why I wanted it as a standalone event and not a points paying event. Then we move on to Martinsville, Talladega, Dover, and Kansas. No changes there. Race 13, Darlington. 14, of course, the Coke 600. Then we go to Worldwide Technology Raceway, Gateway, Sonoma. Then we have Kentucky again, Road America. Then back-to-back road courses, because we are going, for me, home. We're going to Canada in race 19 at Mosport, or now known as Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. I am extremely excited for that one. I hope you guys are as well. Then, of course, we end the regular season with the stretch of New Hampshire, Pocono, Richmond, Michigan. Not the Indianapolis road course. The Indianapolis Oval returns. Then we go to Watkins Glen and then end the regular season at Daytona. The playoffs as well see a brand new track and a few big changes. Darlington, Kansas, Bristol. The first round does not change from last season. It stays the same, and that's a really exciting first round. But this is when things get a little bit more interesting. Round 2, we bring in Iowa, a brand new circuit to the calendar that's rumored to be happening in real life in place of Canada. Sad. But then we go to the worst track on the schedule, Texas, which actually isn't that bad in Heat 5, so we're probably not going to have a bad time there. But then that's in place of where Talladega usually is. Then we, of course, send the round out the Charlotte Road Course, and the round of 8 will be Las Vegas and a curveball Talladega Super Speedway, Martinsville, race 35, and the season finale, no longer Phoenix, thank God. It is Homestead, Miami as the season finale for season 2, and however many seasons we get to do, hopefully more than 2, we are going to rotate different changes for tracks in the final 4 race. So the season finale will always be different instead of the same thing year after year. Before we end the off-season video, you've kind of learned everything as well, but you might be wondering, where is Atlanta? Atlanta is not on the schedule. It's supposed to have 2 races. So, unfortunately, now Indianapolis can be fixed. There's an issue with Indianapolis, and I'll talk about that too. But Atlanta is completely broken on the NASCAR Heat 5 2023 DLC, or 2022 DLC going into the 2023 mod. The track is completely broken, where you just blow the doors off of the AI and you go into 4th gear and you just basically whiz past them, and then 5th gear is completely broken, but if you made it work properly, you would blow by them anyways. So it would be like 2 free wins. It's extremely stupid and embarrassing for Motorsport Games what they did there. As well, Indianapolis has an issue where you actually overheat the car in 5th gear. I think it is really easy and blow the engine. Fortunately, from what I'm hearing, there's an extremely easy way to mod that and fix it without issue. So that's why Indianapolis Oval stays. But yeah, that's all the off-season stuff, from schemes, roster changes, some testing. Next Gen 2.0 is here. What's your favorite thing from this video? Now, the Trucks and Xfinity rosters also have changed, and so have paint schemes there. We are not going to go over that in this episode. We will go over that when the time comes in the Daytona episode to kick off Season 2, and we will just go over it when we get to those races when they come. So yeah, that's going to wrap it up for me. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys are ready for Season 2. I'll see you guys in the next one for the Clash at Bristol Dirt. Have a great day, everybody.